Hey, best friends. Hey, best friends. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Shout out to Lottie Dottie and each and everybody. For those of you guys who have not been with me before, maybe it's been a while. My name is Candy Sincerity Johnson, and I help people create 6 and 7 figure businesses without ever having to leave the comfort of their own home. How do I do that? Because I did it for myself. Shout out to all of the best friends. As you guys come in, say hi to me. I'll say hi to you. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's morning for me because I just got up about an hour ago, but it's afternoon. It's technically afternoon in the shy. I titled the video. What did I title the video, Sean?
PPP fraud investigation and FBI arrest.
PPP fraud investigation and FBI arrest, girl.
Yes.
Look, Sean was in there cooking. She cooking me a little something to eat, girl. Y'all say hi to Sean.
Yeah.
But listen, are you able to bring up the comments? Because I can't see them on my end.
I can give them.
Okay, thank you, love.
You're welcome.
Hey, Miss Deanne, Miss Pam, Miss Lynn, Mr. John.
That's Diane.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I be tearing up some names. Miss Diane, Miss Pam, Miss Lynn, Mr. John, Shonda, Elaine, Tracy, Tasha, and the list goes on and on and on. Happy Monday to all of the best friends. Listen, guys, when I say y'all been giving me, let's give them something to talk about. Let me scoot over. Let's give
I'm gonna turn
them
this off because I don't want this to interrupt you while you and the best friends are stationary.
Okay. Listen, y'all giving me so much to talk about in these streets. Every time I think the things is gonna stop and slow down, y'all give me some more, which I'm grateful for, because I'm gonna just keep feeding it back to you. Now, where do we start? Because we got a lot to unpack here.
Oh no, girl.
If you guys, well, let's start with the PPP stuff. Let's start with that. So some people, since recent conversations have sparked up, some people were sending me stuff to my inbox and was like, man, did you see that it looks like, certain people have had access to PPP loans? Listen, I'm a fan of PPP, EIDL. I'm a fan of all of that. I think business owners should take advantage of it. Here's the danger in doing so, right? If you do not have a legitimate business, or if you don't have your T's crossed and your I's dotted, then you are in a world of trouble. A couple of months ago, President Biden signed a legislation where they were able to do an investigation. So there's a government department, it's a federal agency where they are in charge of receiving all of these fraud calls through a hotline. So when people suspect that there was either a PPP fraud case, or they want people to investigate, they think people got money wrongfully, they received over 54,000 complaints to this federal department. So what President Biden did was he said, you know what, this is out of control. All of this happened before I came into office. So I'm going to set up a department separate that's going to do an investigation of all of these loans. What President Biden did was he said, you know what, the law gives me a certain amount of time to do investigations, or this department a certain amount of time to do investigation. I want to sign something that's going to extend this time. So if we start digging, if we start uncovering stuff, we have now up to 10 years. Y'all listen to this. We have up to 10 years to start digging in people's background to figure out if there is something there and if there was some fraud involved in what happened. So again, it goes back to what my granny used to say. I say the same all the time on this page. It's not the people who don't know you that can do something to you. It's the people who close to you. It's the people who sitting in your face. It's the people who sit next to you. It's those people that you confide in that's going to be your downfall. It's too many people out here moving in a wrong direction, and you don't have to do business like that. What's the purpose of me bringing all of this up? It's because now when stuff starts falling out the bag with people don't just dig and uncover a little bit. It's that one little nugget of information that lead people down a whole rabbit hole, and they start finding out all kinds of stuff. It goes back to the video that we did last night, best friends, where I'm like, when you lead with transparency, you have no fears. What do you have to fear? When you start and create and generate revenue through legitimate businesses, you have no fear. But this is what I wish the takeaway was for a lot of people. If people were able to see how quickly they could get access to money to start and grow a business, why do it in a fraudulent way, right? And so what blows my mind is the people who got the money and didn't do anything with it. You got the money and then you went out and got surgery and got a bigger butt, huh? You got the money and then you turned around and went on vacation, or you bought a car. Didn't you learn anything from getting the money? Sis, bro, when you got the money, why didn't you say, self, if I got this money from a business that I really don't have, or a business that I created on paper in order to get this $20,000 or this $40,000 or whatever it was, instead of me doing it like that, why don't I then take the money and invest it in something legitimate that can grow and create other streams of revenue for me? It makes no sense. So it's like now you got so many people that are on the hook, 54,000 complaints plus and growing. You got so many people who are now sitting on ice and they think, oh, because it's been a little bit of time, the dust has settled. No, these people are federal agents. These people are moving in silence, right? They're sitting there going through each and every complaint, and they're wanting to make sure that all of what was reported was legitimately, in fact, how things were, right? Now, for people who have legitimate business, girl, we don't have a fear in the world, okay? Tax papers have been filed, LLCs, corporations, etc. Girl, we sitting back like, girl, look, what you want to investigate? You see what I'm saying? Because our T's were crossed and our I's were dotted years ago. But in addition to that story coming across my inbox, I also seen, do you guys, and put in the comments, let me know in the comments, have you guys ever heard the name Bishop Lamar Whitehead? Have you guys ever heard of the name Bishop Lamar Whitehead? He was a pastor out of New York. He went viral back in, I think it was July. It was back in the summertime. He went viral back in the summertime because what he did was, there was a video that surfaced with him preaching in the pulpit of his storefront church. And then some guys had allegedly rushed inside of the church. They robbed him, snatched off all his jewelry, and then they took off running out the front door. If you remember seeing the story, if you remember hearing anything about him, let me know in the comments. Dot says yes. Tracy said no. Latriva said, girl, yes. Christina said yes. Kimberly said, I haven't heard his name. Latrice said yes. So for the people who said yes, this is piping hot tea. For the people who said no, baby, this is piping hot tea that you want to then go back and research. Well, it has been brought to our attention. Thank you to Mr. Larry Reed Live and his platform. It has been brought to our attention today that Bishop Lamar Whitehead was picked up and arrested by the FBI. Huh? Bishop Lamar Whitehead was picked up and arrested, sis. He was arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the F to the B to the I. Audrey said, yeah, I saw that. Yes. A lot of people are saying that they saw that. He got arrested by the FBI. He got arrested for fraud, extortion, and false statements. Fraud, extortion, and reporting false statements. Y'all hear me? Kathy said, wow, girl. Yes. So what does all of this mean? What does all of this mean? You know, this is the place where we come and we talk about what the streets are talking about. We come and we talk about what's going on in the news, but we don't just talk about trending topics. We look at them from a bigger position and we extract all of the learning opportunities from this. The common denominator for me, when I read the PPP article and I seen all of that stuff about the arrest and all the investigations of fraud, when I looked at Bishop Lamar Whitehead and I seen everything that's going on with him and how everybody was accusing him of being fraudulent and flashy and stealing money from people. And when people were saying all of this stuff, that he staged the robbery in his church and he hired these guys and all of the things, when I seen all of this stuff come down the pipeline, I said, you know what? There's a common thread. There's a common denominator between these two stories. What's the common denominator? Here's the common denominator, best friends. The word character keeps coming up in my spirit. The word character keeps coming up in my spirit. Character to me, right? And I haven't looked up the definition. Character is a person's ability to do what's morally and ethically right when nobody is looking. Huh? Character is a person's ability to be able to do what's morally and ethically right for everybody, not just for themselves when nobody is looking. When you have people who need money and you have people who are desperate and they don't know how to generate revenue on their own, then that's when people's morals and their character and all of that starts to be questioned, right? You now have a situation where you have all of these people who are doing all of these things, and it really, for real, is an issue with their character. It goes back to what so many times people are saying. You got to do that self-work first. Before you jump up and say you want to make money and you want to be wealthy and you want to create streams of revenue, you have to first check what's inside. Because what's going to happen when your back is up against the wall? What's going to happen the day your account is overdrawn? What's going to happen, when your bills are $3,000, but you're looking at only $800 in your account? That's when you see who people really are. And so I could easily, as a business coach, say that, oh, you just need to learn how to generate different streams of revenue. And hey, you should sign up for my program and I'll teach you how to make $1,000 or more a day. I can do that. But what you have to do, family, what you have to do is you have to make sure your character and your morals and all of that is in check first. Because what the common thread is with all of these people is a lack of integrity. These people do not have integrity. How do you, as a pastor, sit up in a pulpit, you preaching the word of God, and as you're preaching the word of God and you're quoting scriptures, you have been hired. You have been, orchestrated this whole ordeal where you got people rushing into your congregation, inciting fear in the hearts of children and women. You creating and staging this whole thing with probably the intent on creating or causing insurance fraud, right? People who have jewelry, because remember, my background in corporate America was I worked for the largest insurance company in the country, right? I worked for them and I went up the ranks and I had a pretty high position. I made a lot of money in corporate America. So I know the insurance industry like the back of my hand. You understand what I'm saying? So when I seen that whole thing, I said, oh, he's got a personal articles policy, huh? Let me talk to the people. He's got a personal articles policy on that jewelry. So either he's going to claim it on his homeowner's insurance, probably not because he don't want the deductible and he probably don't have all the coverage he needs. But he's got a policy on that jewelry where if it's lost, stolen, etc., it's covered. You understand what I'm saying? I bet you he called the insurance company and tried to file a claim. You see what I'm saying? When people's back is up against the wall, they start to look under every rock. They look in every nook and cranny and they trying to figure out where they can come up with some quick cash. You see what I'm saying? But it's an integrity thing. It's an integrity thing because when you start working to create multiple streams of revenue, when times get rough, when your back is up against the wall, you're not what I call a one-trick pony. Right? There's so many people on social media who are what I call one-trick ponies. All they can eat off of is stars, likes, comments, shares, drama, and nonsense. They don't have the ability to create streams of revenue on demand. You see what I'm saying? They don't have the ability. They don't have any talent. They don't have anything to fall back on. And so when you're what I call a one-trick pony, when that stream of revenue dry up or when it's not available to you, like Pastor Lamar Whitehead, then you start to do unethical things that cause people to question your character. That causes people to, put a bad word or whatever on your name. And so with all of that being said, that's the common thread with all of this, right? All of this, that's the common thread with the PPP stuff that I started the video off with. And that's the common thread with this. Latrice said, I refuse to even apply for a PPP, even though I have a business. I transferred from Georgia to PA. I wasn't fully set up before the pandemic started. And my business was a spa or is a spa. How could I say I needed a loan for a business and we were on lockdown? I just wasn't going to chance it. Well, you would qualify for a PPP if you had your business before and if you lost revenue streams, right? So the PPP was designed for businesses that were definitely established before the pandemic. So if your business qualifies, definitely take advantage of it. It's not, so for me, it's all about what can you prove, right? Everything in business is all about what can you prove. It's not what you state, it's what can you prove. And so that's the thing. And so when all of this went down, I was super busy in my coaching businesses because I had people constantly saying, hey, I need access to more streams of revenue, or I need access to the money to sustain my business. So I then said, okay, are you filing taxes with your business? Do you have an EIN number with your business? Do you have an LLC or a corporation? Do you have all these things in place? Because if you don't, sis, it's going to be hard to prove. Then you're looking at running stuff through your social security number, and then that opens up a whole can of worms. So that's why I'm saying it's available. These resources are available to the people who need them. Should you take advantage of it? Absolutely, if you qualify. But I would do a gut check because only y'all have the answers to the questions, right? You can't hire a coach or consultant to say, should I do it? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying best friend. I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, but I'm saying to all of the business owners and entrepreneurs out there, business ownership is a beautiful thing if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then you definitely have to partner with somebody to learn exactly what it is that you should be doing. The purpose of a business coach or a consultant is to see around corners that you're not able to and take you further than you could go on your own. It's to get you there faster, than you could on your own. There's a lot of things that you can do on your own, but those lessons are either bought or they're taught. I tell people that all the time. And so if you want to move faster, you want to grow your business faster, you want to do it in a legal manner, then you definitely want to hire a coach or consultant. Then that coach or consultant will get you to a certain point, and then at that point, you have to hire another coach or consultant to get to the next level. Right? So for me, I work with businesses that are between $0 and $500,000 a year annual revenue. Why? Because that's where I am, right? I've gotten our businesses to about that $500,000 a year range. So I could speak to that effortlessly. Right? I could get you to that point. Once you get to that point where you're now like a 7-figure, 8-figure brand, now you need to hire a different coach. But guess what? That other coach is going to come with a different price point. That other coach's program is going to be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. Now, to the average person, that's astronomical, right? Because they're probably in the startup phase. They're in the initial growth phase, right? But once you're making 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures a year, to invest, $80,000 plus in coaching is just a no-brainer. You do it because you know that investment is going to yield you millions on the back end. But I said all that to say, y'all, this is a whole fool. Bishop Whitehead, baby, after he talked all of that, he did press conferences. Girl, he carried on. He cried in front of the camera. He had people rallying around him, and it was a whole vibe. All of the major news outlets was talking about this back in the summertime. So if you're not familiar with who he is, definitely go back and check it out. But listen, I have to go because Sean is making lunch for us, for the family. The kids are on lunch right now, from their curriculum this morning. And, we got some moves that we have to make this afternoon. However, if you are interested, if you're seeing all this and you everybody talking about a lot of money, we can let you know you can definitely work with us. We have a program that we put together that will help you generate $1,000 or more a day from home. Okay. If you want to start your online store, you want to start making money, definitely go to our website. The website is Candy Sincerity Johnson. If you have any questions, just inbox us or email us. But we love you guys. I'll be calling y'all. I'll be calling y'all a little bit later when something else pop off. Okay. But we love you guys. Sean, did you have anything else?
Love you guys.
You want to come tell them or you busy?
I was getting super there.
Okay, look, Sean is in the kitchen. What are you cooking, love?
I'm cooking baked chicken, vegetables, and rice.
Yes.
I love you, best friends. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you guys look, this is my business coach, okay?
Huh?
She is the reason why Sincerity Johnson is where it's at. So, it is what it is. So, $1,000 a day don't sound too bad to me. So if you're interested, definitely go to her website, CandySincerityJohnson.com. But I love you guys. Let me go so I don't burn up my food.
Right. But we love you guys. Have an amazing day. Make sure your notifications are on. And as we always say, the best is yet to come. But baby, we got work to do. Y'all take care.